Hello, hello, hello. Alright. I already watched a little bit of this. So we'll just scroll through all the okay. This is all fine. This is fine, this is fine. Okay, so pause. Alright, so here's like the first large mistake. Alright, so you're here for this wave. CSing. So your goal here should be to get this wave and get the fuck out. Because you're not going to take the tower and you're not going to kill them. So your goal is to get the wave and get out. If you don't get the wave, you're at risk of dying to the enemy jungler. So let's see what happens here. You get the wave, and now you've this is pointless. You can't get a plate. You're not going to get any damage on it because it's pre 5 minutes. You can't kill these guys. You don't know where the enemy jungler is, or you just saw him mid, presumably on this ward. So like you should be hauling ass. You should either be basing to get a component, or like sitting in this bush, or like maybe this bush to like gimp one of them if they don't know you stayed in lane. But more than likely, you want to be here. If you're here, you just die to the enemy jungler, which is exactly what happens. Rams comes in, kills you. Alright. Run back to lane. Alright, here's the second big mistake. Alright, so you're behind. You just died, and although you might not necessarily be weaker than Kai'Sa and Morgana, and you could still probably kill them, you want to set up a way to kill them, right? Let's say you're stronger. You want to set up a way to kill them. Let's say you're weaker. You want to set up a way for yourself to stay safe. So the best way to do that is to slow push this minion wave. So let's see what you do here. Let's slow it down. Slow it down. You fast push it. What you want to do here is you want your axes to go off cooldown, and you just want to last hit this because you want to slow push it. The reason you want to slow push it is because you want a bigger minion wave. The reason you want a bigger minion wave is because when the minion wave crashes here, they can't fight you because you've got a big ass minion wave. And if you slow push it, more of your minions will die. Now that sounds counterintuitive. The reason why more of your minions will die is because these minions will kill these minions, but not if you kill them, like really quickly. None of these minions can kill, the blue minions can't kill the red minions if you slaughter the blue minions. So don't slaughter the blue minions here, right? So this is the second biggest mistake. And so by doing this, you've directly put yourself in danger because now you've got to walk like all the way up to here to get this wave. So if you had slow pushed this, let's say you slow push this wave would have met you here or here. You would not have to be standing here. You would be standing here. You'd be a lot safer. So that's the second biggest mistake, or second big mistake. At this point, you want to fast push this. So this is good because you're in danger here. This is dangerous. This is kind of stupid. You don't really want to do this. Like here, you want to go to Gromp. You can look for a plate here if you know where the enemy jungler is, but you don't know where the enemy jungler is. This is really stupid. This is a third big mistake. Good auto. Alright, so you've taken some damage. You cannot 2v2 them now. You don't have enough mana. You have enough mana for a Q and a W, and like maybe an E. Because we'll see the mana get burned here in a second. So what you should do here is you should just last it and let it push into you while avoiding jungle ganks. To avoid a jungle gank, stand on one of these bushes. Or you could try to gimp one of them by standing in this bush, right? But this is warded, so you can't really do that. So that's bad. Don't hit that. Don't last hit that. You want this. This is the third big mistake. You want this to push towards you. That's a bad mistake. Imagine Rammus is here. You've just used all your mana and your only escape tool. If Rammus is here, you die. This is a fourth bit. That's a pretty bad mistake, but the enemy can't capitalize it. But that's still a fourth. That's a big mistake. Fourth big mistake. Fourth mistake. So you're thinning the wave out here. This is perfect. This is really good. I like this. This is fine. You're getting CS and you're in a safe spot. Because you're and you can't kill them, this is what you want to do until you can get a good back timing. Doing anything else here is stupid. Right, unless your jungler comes to gank. Like, you want to wait for a jungle gank, or you want to get a good back timing off, and just CS. Rammus comes, and you're in a good position. You live, because you were not pushing the wave. Right? So because the enemies are bad, they've essentially done what a slow push would have done for you. Because if you had slow pushed, you would have slow pushed, you would have based, and the minion wave would have bounced and been here. So this is... So you get kind of lucky. You get lucky. Alright, so in this fight we're going to talk about like front to back and like proper spacing. So good fight, good fight. Alright. Okay. Okay, try to pay attention here, because it'll be a lot, and there's that fucking noise in the background. You're going for an auto on this, on Kaisa. Alright? You get the auto off, right? That's perfect. Even if this does not kill her, your first instinct after this auto should be to run away. Because you don't want to be next to these guys. You don't want to be melee Draven, you're a ranged character. You want to be in a position where if the fight goes bad, you can run away. Now let's say you run away and they follow J4. Well, then you can follow them back in and continue autoing them until you think it's dangerous and the fight is lost. Let's say you run away and they chase you. J4 will kill Kaisa, right? So what happens here is after you throw the auto, you run in. So you're running in, you're melee Draven, right? And then Morg's a retard, doesn't come kill you, and you get away with a kill. So you get lucky again. And this is all good. Although, like right here, come on. Also, right here, what you could do is you could wrap around like this. So you could wrap around. What you're gonna do is you're gonna auto him and you're just gonna sit here. So in that like one time to auto. Oh, did you get taunted? You may have gotten taunted. If you didn't get taunted, you could have like wrapped around this way. And the reason you wrap like this is because it creates space in between you and Morg. But this is gonna work out. I mean, that's a micro thing. Like that's not important. That's not gonna win you games. Plus fights can go multiple different ways. So this is perfect. You get lucky again, you get 500 gold. Awesome. So now, what do you do here? You should be slow pushing. You can look for the gank on Kai'Sa, but you're trying to be safe and you're trying to farm, and you're trying to create opportunities for your jungler to come, and opportunities for you to kill the enemy laners in lane. It's all you want to do. But see, you're fast pushing. Alright, again, fast pushing. You should not be fast pushing here. And also, um, this is a totally new concept, but if you know where Rammus is, which you don't in this situation, but let's say you knew where Rammus was. Let's say you knew Rammus was at Gromp. You could space like in you could space like more here, so you could auto the Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa does not outtrade you. Like if you get 2 or 3 autos off and you get like you combo her, like you do more damage than her. Let's see. Yeah, equal items. You actually have a longsword up on her. So you trade better than her. So what that means is if you know where the jungler is and you're stronger, hit the enemy laner. Now you don't know where Morg here is in this situation, which is why you may have been afraid to step near this bush. So you know where the jungler is, and you can hit the enemy laner. Try to figure out where the enemy support is. Flush out this bush. Like try to bait out a Q. Like, because even in this situation, let's say you face check this bush and you get hit by a Morg Q and a W, like here, and you're flushing out the bush. You're just walking at it this way. They can't kill you. Right, so you've gotten information for a little bit of your health. They can't kill you, and that's worth it. Because let's say you flush out the bush, Morg isn't there. Now you know you can hit Kai'Sa. Because you know where the jungler is. You know the jungler's at Gromp. You know the support's not in this bush. So this is now you're safe here. And if you're safe here, you can walk up and hit her. So yeah, exactly. Perfect. You flush out the bush, miss an opportunity to get an auto in, but so that's the thing is, right? So this Seraphine gets a CC ability off, and you miss a chance to hit the Kai'Sa because of how you're positioned. Part of like playing a lane and playing AD is hitting the enemy AD when they hit a CS. So you watch your CS's health. Watch. So watch this. So she's gonna go for this auto, right? And Seraphine's gonna capitalize on her hitting the minion. She's gonna go. Kai'Sa is going to auto this minion, and Seraphine is going to capitalize on the fact that she's focusing on this minion. Right? So she goes for the minion. Seraphine hits something. Right? Now you got a minion. That's okay. But ideally, you could have been here or here, gotten the minion, and then gotten an auto off. But you're kind of like you're more to the right than you need to be. But that's okay. That's small stuff. That's not important. That's not going to win you games. It might win you the lane or get you a small lead, but it's really it's really just unimportant. It's just like fine tuning your micro. Again, you're fast pushing. Don't fast push. Fast pushing is bad in this situation. You want lane control. You want lane control. You don't want the enemies. You don't want to put yourself in danger. There's no point in volunteering to be in danger. Okay. There's no point in volunteering to be in danger. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. So this is a fight, and I'm just going to tell you how you could have played this fight like slightly better. Or made a not played the fight better, but made a better decision that would have kept you alive. So you see Rammus here. Instead of going for this Morg here, you should immediately just run. And if you run here, you're out. And you would have been safe. But what happens here is you go for the Morg and you greed instead of ADC is not about killing people, it's about saving yourself and maximizing your damage output throughout a team fight, right? It's not about getting a kill. You don't care about killing this Morg, because if you kill this Morg, you're going to die to Kaisa and Rammus, presumably. So the smart thing to do here is to run and kill the Rammus. Dodge the Q and then go kill the Rammus. Just look at this guy. He's level 5. Like, this guy's dead, right? Just kill the Rammus. Just play front to back. Keep yourself safe. You don't need to kill the Morg here. And you can say, oh, well, they fucked up and they didn't kill the Rammus, and that's true, but you could have just killed the Rammus and stayed safe, like, even if they fucked up. Overall, this is just unlucky, because he flashes on you. But again, the only reason you're in danger there is because you fast pushed the wave. If you had slow pushed, you would have been here. You wouldn't have been, like, here. Rammus would have never killed you. And you could say, well, I was going for a kill on Morg. But if you had slow pushed, you wouldn't need to go for a kill. You would just be choking them out of CS. That's I would consider that a large mistake. And they play like dog. They're shit. I mean, you know they're gonna be shit. They're league players. Like, mistakes happen. So come back. Okay, I haven't seen anything past this, so the commentary might get very scuffed. I might start rambling. You're fast pushing again. I don't know why you're fast pushing. Why you don't fast push because you don't know where the enemy jungler is. There's no point to fast push you. You're putting yourself in danger for no reason. Although this fast push is good. Actually, I have seen this. That fast push is good because you get Drake, so good job. That's the second thing you've done well. First was you secured the shutdown on Rammus and the Cashin. The second is you pushed for Drake. I don't know. Oh yeah, because you saw the ward. Okay. So this is dream scenario for you. Your support is roaming. You're not in any danger. You get solo XP and gold. So you don't fast push here. Normally you wouldn't fast push here. But because you see the enemy support and the enemy ADC, in a second you'll see him, you fast push. So this fast push is good. So if you know where the enemy champions are and you know you can't die, you pretty much always fast push. Because you'll deny them CS. Their tower will kill your minions. So this is good. You know where everyone is that's a threat to you. Rammus is not a threat to you. You just get a plate. Now, where are the enemy support and ADC? You have no idea. So you've gotten your plate, and now what do? Well, obviously you run. But you don't do that. So that's a mistake. Sixth mistake. We'll just say fifth. Fifth or sixth. I think it's sixth. I'm not keeping a score, but I'm just trying to list out, if you get, at the end of the video, I'm just going to say, if you got rid of, X amount of mistakes, like, you probably would have played a lot better. That's the only point I'm making by counting. So here you should slow push. This is just an unlucky fight. Again, you should... So here is the only time you should fast push. And you should fast push because they based. So if you fast push here, it's going to hit the tower crash and push back to you, which is what you want. So you fast push here. And you also fast push because it'll deny them minions. So you fast push, which is good. You probably don't know why you're fast pushing, but it's okay. You get a plate and now you run. So this is a mistake. So the reason why this is a big mistake is you don't know where the enemy jungler is. One, you don't know where the enemy jungler is. Two, if you stay any longer, because you stayed after you got the plate, if you walk into this bush now and you base, you're going to get to lane late. So you're overstaying. Because if you, like now, they're going to get back to lane and they're just going to clear the minions. And you're going to lose lane control. Right? So this is, you're getting a shit back timing here. This is a shit back timing. Because you're overstaying. So you agreed for the plate. You get a bunch of damage on towers, but that doesn't matter. So now if you base here, so now you can't base. Right? So that's a big mistake. Like if you had based after you'd gotten the plate, you would have gotten back to lane by the time this minion wave would get to your tower. So now you can't base, and you're down an item or a component. Here you should just be trying to last hit and keeping yourself alive. So here you should just freeze the wave. So you should tank the minions until your wave gets here so you can freeze it. So this is a mistake. They would have canceled it, but it's still a mistake. Let's see. You probably could have prevented this dive. Alright, so you don't know where Anivia is. And you don't know where the enemy jungler is. So you should just fast clear this. You shouldn't freeze it. Yeah, you should just fast clear it. So this is good actually. And the moment, like, let's see. When do you see Anivia? Okay. So you see Rammus here. So you see Rammus, and you also see Anivia. At this point in time, you should be clearing as fast as possible and leaving. Dragon is not spawning. Like, Dragon's spawning in, I don't know how many seconds, it's gray. So it's not spawning in the next 15. You should be running to put a ward in this bush and dipping the fuck out of here. The moment you see... So here you see Anivia, you should be hauling ass. Yeah, but you should have already left. Like, you should have left when you saw Rammus here and Anivia here. So this is a mistake. Because this death could have been prevented entirely. Rammus flashes on you again because he's literally just a fucking child. Here fast pushing is fine. Uh, You could do anything you want with this minion wave, personally, at this level, in this situation. I would fast push here. It makes sense to me. I don't think this is a mistake. Walking up to the tower is a mistake. You don't know where Rammus is. Why are you doing this? This is a mistake. Oh, you left. Okay, see, okay, you understand. Yes, and so if Kaisa would have ulted onto her, you could have taken that fight, but you had the right idea. That was perfect. Perfect. You're learning. Good job. That's good. That's the third thing that you've done well. That's really good. She's pushing the wave like a fucking retard. Um, you could have taken a more aggressive approach to this and tried to like jump on her, but this is fine. I actually wouldn't do that. Never mind. Ignore what I just said. So here, this is a mistake. Um, Hitting these minions is a mistake because if you had tanked them and just let them hit you and then drop the aggro, your minion wave would have sat here fighting the 3 minion waves, and you would have been safer because the minion waves would have crashed like here instead of here, or they would have crashed like here instead of here. But see, so look where they end up meeting. They end up meeting in the middle of the lane instead of like here. I don't know if that made sense to you, or I don't know if that makes sense because I don't know if I explained that well, so I'm gonna re-explain it. There are 3 minions, 3 enemy minions here. Your minion wave is going to crash and fight them, and then the enemy minion wave is going to meet your wave here while they're fighting them. So you should have left those 3 alive instead of killing them. How far into the game are we? Oh, we're like halfway through. I liked this fight. This was a good fight. So now, ask yourself, what would you do here? The correct play is to fast push this and try to dive her. Jarvan should be like in here, not fucking showing himself. This is great. This is good. That's another thing you did well. Um, so this is a mistake. This is really stupid. Um, the reason the reason why it's a mistake is because it's not necessary. It's gonna be a mistake in this situation, and I'll play the video and show you why. Okay, well for one, okay, well you have Malphite here, so this isn't the worst thing, but you don't want this tower to fall. There's really no reason to go top. And you have good ward coverage down here. Let's see. For a little bit longer. Like there's no real reason to go top. Like you're not going to get any more gold by going top than if you go bot. You might get 3 or 4 more minions, but you're going to lose this tower inadvertently. And secondly, this is also bad because Yasuo is going to have to 2v1 now, and he's melee. Yasuo can't 2v1 Kai'Sa Morg, like ever. Like maybe at higher elos he could somehow kill them, but like he's not going to do it here. So Seraphine's going to go help him out, leaving you by yourself with no coverage. You have no idea where the enemy jungler is. You have no idea where the enemy top laner is. All you have is this ward. And like, as you can see, this ward does not cover the entrance to this bush. So they can literally get in this bush and kill you. So you don't know where so this is a mistake. This is terrible. On top of that, instead of freezing this minion wave, you pushed it. Right, so the blue minion wave, I mean, I remember, I'm not going back. It's too much work. This minion wave was larger than yours. So you could have froze it like here and just stayed here and let it push into you and like sat here for an extended period of time until you needed to go rotate somewhere, and then you would have fast cleared it and rotated to a fight, like to defend a position, right? So there's no reason to push this. So that's a mistake. Like, so even the enemy team is confused. They're like, what the fuck? Right, so now you're here. This is it's okay to be here because J4 is here, but you should be fast pushing this. It's a mistake to slow push this because by fast pushing this, you get out of danger quicker. Like you are in this is not a good place to be. You fast push it. I like that. Right. And so in addition, because Yasuo had to go bot lane, no one can hold mid because Malphite can't hold mid against Anivia. So all of this bad shit is happening because you made this one bad rotation. Oh, that's Oh, that's sad, man. That's so sad. That just makes me feel bad. Let's see how you play this fight. Did you just flash? You did not just flash. No way, bro. Please don't tell me you just flashed. Oh my goodness, why? There's no reason to flash there. It's not worth it. That's a bad mistake. Let's see how this fight goes. So I would have kept going here personally. Um, just because this shit's free. Like, like the Morgana was free. Like you knew the Morg was free, and they're not gonna get her because they're not ranged. And then the Kai'Sa would have ended up being free as well. So I think it's a mistake not to follow there. That's a fight though. The thing about fights is like they're hard. Like you got to know in the moment. So like let's see what happens again. All right. So this guy dies and like you're doing the exact thing you should be doing. You're autoing him and running forward because by autoing him and running forward, you're putting yourself in a position to kill her because you're never going to die because these guys can't kill you and the enemy is not spawning. So this is good. Where are you? You're this guy. Okay. I just had to figure out where you were. So you're here. Um, D4 additional Q. Yeah, chasing here is dumb, actually. Oh, well, actually, I mean, no, I understand this decision, actually. No, this is fine, actually. No, this is fine. I don't think you would have caught up to the Morg, and it's just kind of like lucky that your team caught up to them. So this is good. I think this is good. This is something you did well. Okay, it's actually a mistake. Yeah, you gotta pay attention to that. That's actually a big mistake. Okay, here, wait. Yeah, that's a mistake. That's unfortunate. See, if you had saved Flash, you could have killed her here. That's okay, I guess. I hope I'm recording. Am I recording? Okay, good. That's an okay ult. Personally, I would have saved the ult for damage in a team fight. Okay, here, wait. Okay. So I, this is a mistake because if this Nautilus had any brain cells, he would Q you and you would die. Walking around the wall here is better than doing this, and you don't get punished for it. That's a mistake. But I understand this decision, and you're just trying to output as much damage as possible. And so this is still a good decision. And it's just like it's crazy that you guys don't win this fight. Okay, so what happens here? How do y'all lose this? Okay, so at this point, I would have walked to the left or to the right. Like I wouldn't have walked into this ult. Like see, because if you had walked, so this will be interesting. I think you'll like this. And it's like super important to like know this. Right, so the moment this spawns, if you start walking left here, you will still be in range to auto her. You'll still be able to hit her over the wall because Yasuo will give you vision. Right. Going through this is dumb. Um, let's see. I could see the argument for like if Yasuo dies, you won't be able to finish her off, but in this particular scenario, if you had walked left here, you wouldn't have been in this ultimate and you would have killed her without dying. Or you wouldn't have died. Right, see, so this ult alone puts you at half health. So if you had walked left, even with her being here, you still would have been in range because you would have been here. You still could hit her here. You wouldn't be at half health, you'd get another auto in and you wouldn't die, and you wouldn't get immediately hit by her. Because you may have not been in range for this ability. So this space, I would consider you here, like this decision, you kind of put yourself in danger here. Like that's what I think. And I think that I believe that if you had gone to the left here, you wouldn't have died, and you may have also killed her because you'd have more health. So that's just a small thing, like to optimize team fights. But I think you played the team fight perfectly up until that point, except for maybe the wall thing. Although the decision that you made to walk through the ult underneath the wall ended up being a more optimal decision, I think. So like overall, I think that fight was like pretty close to perfect. So I like that. That's really well done. So that's like a really important thing. And the thing is like as an ADC, it's important to have good mechanics and be able to play fights well because that's like the ADC's job. It's like the only way you can kind of create a lead as an ADC is to like or like one of the biggest ways you can create a lead is by winning the team fights. Because you have control of the whole team fight, like pretty much. Like you can control whether or not you die, unless there's a Fed assassin. Alright, so the Malphite shouldn't be here. You and Seraphine should get mid, so you should ping them away. And at this point in the game, you're just looking to get as much gold as possible. So you take all this, yes, and then you should go take his right side jungle. You should just go take wolves and Gromp here. So this is a mistake. Going for red isn't though if he's giving you red. Just know, just remember that you need to be getting like you need to be taking jungle camps. All right. So here, you see Kai'Sa bot lane. You see your entire enemy team in mid and top side, basically in the top side of the map. This is where, as the ADC, you control the team fight. Like your team, you just go in here, right? So you see this. Like if this was me, I would push this. I would push this and go for this tower, or I would just like walk up to these guys and try to kill him. Because if you play the team fight right and you don't die, you just auto win this. Um, so I think this is a good job. I think you're doing something good here. And okay, I need to calm down. Ugh. Mm. Not getting this tower is a mistake. The reason why going for this tower isn't the reason why going for this tower is good is because if Rammus balls towards you, you just E him and you're fine. So you should have went for this tower. You wouldn't have died. Right. So, and maybe you can get in the habit of like pinging a little bit because you had the 5v4 advantage and you lost it because your Malphite stayed top. So like in a perfect world, like and also if you had pinged him maybe, if you'd pinged him, he may have grouped and you guys could have gotten the tower. But I don't think that was a huge mistake, but it's still like it's still worth commenting. It's not like I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's important that you know the information. It's not one of those things where like you have to do it. Okay, let's see what happens here. You should be hitting the Nautilus here. You could hit him over the wall. You put yourself in a little bit of danger there by spacing incorrectly. Um, so let's see what happens. The wall comes up. You should be standing here looking to auto the Nautilus if it's in range. The moment the wall goes down, you should be walking this way to be behind Seraphine. Seraphine shouldn't be behind you. Like, she needs to die before you die every time. Because this isn't, they're just going to run up on you. So this is a mistake in spacing. You should be here. Because, like, the reason you should be here is you have no retreat angle this way. They just, like, walk at you. Your retreat angle is now this way. So, like, there's not a tower. Like, your tower is here. It's not this direction. And you don't want to kite this direction. You want to kite back to towards your base because you have a wall here, too, that you can play around. And like, and if you obviously if you play around this wall, the enemy team can just flank you this way. Right, so they just ult you because you're standing right next to them. It's a good spacing. I like this. I would have maybe gone for the Morg here. Oh, now you're just so that's a mistake. You switching targets, but it's working out because you're probably paying attention to this, whereas I'm not. So this is fine. If you knew your teammates were here, it would have been better just to commit to Rammus, so you would have killed him. Right, so Rammus would have died. And you should just be running. Like, you should just be trying to flank these guys and kill him. Because, like, you never die here. But you might end up... It's not that you never die here, it's like, if you play it, like, smart, you won't get... Like, when I say go for stuff, I mean, like, go for it with the idea of, like, not getting punished. Not with the idea of, like... Mm. It's like, you can still die there, but you don't commit. You put yourself in a situation where you can either commit, like you put yourself in a situation where you're not committed, but like where you could commit at a split second's notice, right? So it's like a knife's edge, right? You want to be in a position. This is important. You want to be in a position where you can commit on a split second notice, or not, or run or retreat. Like you want to have both of those options. Because if you don't have the option of committing, like you won't win the fight a lot of the times. Or the fight will be harder to win. And that's what you did that well there. Like you flanked, you were putting yourself in a position to commit. So that's a good job. That's a thing. You did that. That's a thing you did well this game. Fast pushing here is good. You're doing this well. This is a good thing you did. You get the tower. Yeah, you should just run here. Just let them die. And the reason you let them die here is because you don't know where any of the enemy champions are. So you don't know where anyone is, you don't know where anyone is, you see Rammus, you still don't know where anyone is, you know you're getting TP'd on, you don't know where any of the enemy champions are. So in your mind you're like, I don't know where any of the enemy champions are, can I kill Nautilus and Rammus before the enemy champions show up? The answer is no, because you know they're coming. Now if you were here instead of here, it's a different scenario. You can auto the Nautilus all you want if you're right here, because they'll never catch you. You can run behind a minion wave, you'll never get hit. So if you're here instead of here, you're chilling. But you obviously you couldn't get here because you got TP'd on. I'm just saying, like if you're here, it's fine to just stay and hit them. But if you're here, you can't. This is a mistake. You can't do what you did and stay and hit them because you don't know where anyone is. You're voluntarily putting yourself in danger. You're just playing the lottery. You're playing the slots. You're like you don't know if you're gonna win the fight. Like you're just you're just gambling. At this stage of the game, you just farm and take jungle camps. I would have even like maybe had gone top after I cleared that wave, but this is still fine. Like on top for the wave, just for the gold. Not to stay top or anything like that. I like what you're doing here. This is good. This is perfect. It's perfect. Yeah, so you should just run top and grab this CS every time. I think that's a mistake. So in situations like these, where it's like it's kind of like a team fight thing, what you could have done here is you could have left the three teammates here, Yasuo here, and just caught this wave before your team thought about rotating. That way you get solo gold and solo XP. And if you see some enemies on the minimap, you run back to your team. Like you ping you're on your way to them and run back to them. But see now you're catching the wave with your whole team, and they're getting some gold, and you're all sharing XP. And in addition, those three people came mid lane to catch the wave, right? Otherwise, they'd be like here. They'd be in a better position to like get vision on Baron, or they'd just be closer to this. Now you guys all gotta run up, and it's like, right. So the enemy team just like blows Baron up, right? And Malphite has to blow Flash to get into ult range because they all came mid. So if you had caught that wave quicker, you're like looking for a fight. You just gotta catch the wave, like. And you can't say, but what if my team dies? Because you're watching the minimap, like for a fight to break out. Like you don't necessarily need to be with your team at the start of every fight. Like because ideally they'll stall for you. Okay, I need to relax and watch this. Okay, let's slow this down. Have you ulted? I have no. I can't tell. Great E. Okay, you're throwing your axes. You're throwing them to go backwards. Okay, this is perfect. Well done. Super well done. Super well done. So what you do here is you could have gone top here to catch these minions instead, because these are going to die quicker than this because of the super minion. This is still fine. It's not optimal, but right. So here you're walking up mid. There's no gold here. You should just be running through this jungle and running through these waves up here. So this is a big mistake, actually. This is a big mistake. This is like one of the bigger mistakes. Not like bigger than all this, like not like bigger than the other ones, but it's like a big. You need this gold, dude. Like you gotta get this, and you gotta get this. There's like a wave. There's like a whole wave and like a few minions. This is like a whole kill. Like this is more than 300 gold. Like much more than 300 gold. This is like this is like 106. This is like 130. This is like 130, and this is like however much this is fucking worth. It's like 90 plus whatever the fuck this is. This is like 450 gold or like 400 gold, and you just like don't get it. So that's pretty bad. Instead, you go for the scuttle, and then you base. See, you miss out on 400 gold and you waste time. So that's a mistake. Right, so now you just go to the right jungle. You just go to the right side jungle. I like this. This is well done. Right, and then you get back in time to defend. Perfect. That's perfect. That's so well done. So well done. So well done. So well done. Dude, your Seraphine is so fucking bad. Good spacing on the Nautilus. What do you have? Let's see. So Kraken Slayer is good. I guess this is okay. I would have considered getting Last Whisper a little bit quicker if you could somehow fit it into the build. Maybe before Collector. I don't know what you went second, but I would have either gotten it before your third item, just Last Whisper. It's like super important against because you're front to backing, right? You need Last Whisper to deal with Nautilus and Rammus. So I don't like I think the build could have been a little bit more optimal, but it's actually like okay because you have Kraken Slayer, so it's not the worst. But like if you had fit a Last Whisper in, it would have been better. You would have team fought a little bit more effectively because you actually like do damage to the tanks. This is perfect. You guys know Kai'Sa's top, so you just walk in and you kill him. Fuck. Oh. You could have kept walking at him. Bro, Jarvan, just fucking dunk someone, buddy. Yikes. You may have been able to force a fight here by just running at them and autoing them and dodging skill shots, but that's not something like that's just something you gain from playing. Oh, slow the fight down. Okay, wait, what happens here? How do you get taunted? So, in this scenario, you kind of want to be here because you want to be threatening to auto this guy. I know that seems crazy, but you really need to be like threatening to auto him. It's kind of counterintuitive, but you probably only lose this fight because your Malphite fucking just takes it in the ass. Takes it up the ass. Yeah, he just like fucking... Okay, so this is good. You want to auto this guy and run up this way. Or, a lot of the times you auto him and you walk into the pit. Right, so if you had been up here and you had E'd Rammus, you would have had all this area to retreat into and you could have gone behind here. But you're kind of in a bad spot now. Rammus catches you, unfortunately, and you guys just get womboed because they have tanks and no one can deal with them. Bro. Yeah, you and Yas don't have armor pens, so it's like... There's just no way they die, and you don't have any AP. Yeah, you're full AD. You need a Last Whisper somewhere in here. Or whatever the component is that builds into the armor pen item, you need that. Otherwise, you just lose. Looks like you guys just lose off that. How much farm do you have? 229, yeah. You gotta farm more. I feel like you'd be a lot better if you learned, or I know you'd be a lot better if you learned just how to optimize your income in the game. Yeah, you do no damage to this guy. Yeah, you need a Last Whisper, bro. Yeah. And it's like you had to fit it in somewhere. Like you just do nothing to him. You had to fit it in like before one of the other items. Like even if it doesn't feel good, like or like look as flashy, like it'll feel good like when you're able to actually kill a tank. Because you're not running Conqueror, I don't think. And even if you were, like, that's not enough. Like, oh, Conqueror doesn't even give you true damage. Yeah, what am I saying? I think. And even if it did, it's not enough. Like, oh, this game is looking so good, damn. Yeah, you guys should go for this, I think. Yeah, and then you go for the inhib, yeah, and then you just run. Because Rammus. So now you should just. Oh, yeah, Baron's up in 18, so you should reset and then go to Baron. Oh, do y'all throw it, Baron? Yeah, you never Baron here. Like you gimp. You definitely just gimp in the bush that y'all were just in. Yeah, you should be standing in this bush. Or like, yeah, close enough where you can react to someone who face checks. Yeah, so basically like y'all are all sitting on a bunch of gold. You can't gimp, so like now you have to give this. So it's like you really had to gimp someone here. Okay, another thing is you're gonna see Kaisa show up here, so you should just go in when y'all see Kaisa. Like you should just force a fight as the AD, or just flank her. But you cannot flank Kaisa, because if you flank Kaisa, you just die. I'd imagine, like if the enemy plays it right, or she just runs and nothing happens. But this guy's getting dicked, so this is bad. You should be helping him out. God, no last whisper sucks so bad. Like, yeah. So if you're not doing any damage to tanks, like, and you don't build Last Whisper, and you have like this build, try to just assassinate Kaisa there, or like other carries. Like, you can't really front to back it. Like, you don't have enough damage. Overall, I think the biggest thing was just like, don't voluntarily put yourself in danger. Like, learn how to slow push and freeze the wave. Like, freezing the wave is super important, and like slow pushing a crash or getting a large minion wave and crashing, I think that's really important. I think that's one of the biggest things. And then excuse me. And then like mid game and late game, like optimizing your farm. Like don't make dumb rotations. Like there was that one time you could have gotten a bunch of farm up here. And there's also like obviously like there's more way like there were obviously more opportunities for you to get farm as well like during the game. Like you should basically be playing like past like the like 15 minute or 20 minute, like essentially once the like after the first team fight has happened, almost in every game, like you kind of like the whole map is free game, and you should just be going in and taking farm, um, because your allies aren't gonna get it. Like, and you should be pushing waves and like safely, not like overextending, but I mean like this wave, like push this wave, push this wave. Like if they're in situations where you can push them. Um, Overall, I think the team fighting was pretty well done, though. I think you just, I feel like you would have had a way higher chance of winning this game if you had optimized better. Because, like, you're playing the team fights well, but you're not doing any damage because you didn't build Last Whisper. So, also, like, another thing that kind of sucks is, like, if you guys hadn't gone for this inhib, if you had just gotten this tower and base, you could have gotten to Baron with all of your gold. Because you guys wiped them, and then you took the inhib, you had a shit ton of gold, and you were never able to base, because after you took the inhib, there was a Baron fight. You tried to gimp at Baron because you had to, and then it didn't work out. Um, yeah, but that's really all I've got for this game, so.